Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Perhaps someone in the future will write a song similar and write the names of the great disciples of Prabhupada who did so much and who have passed away. And we will write a song specifically in lamentation and separation from Srila Prabhupada.
There is a song, right? Prabhupada na Holy Prabhupada.
Yeah, that's Japatakamanj? Yeah. Do you know how to sing that?
Yeah.
Can you sing it? Please sing it. Jadi Prabhupada na hoite. Oh, that.
Myself and Rasmandli Mataji plan to sing that. So
Is she here? Is she here?
yes, she'll come.
Okay, so good, just sing that.
Yeah, so yesterday we practiced, so we'll try to do it.
Well, someone can sing other songs. There's all,
Yeah,
Vaishnav
so many
Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur.
Who's the MC? Is there a schedule?
Is there a schedule? Is
Yeah,
there an
I
MC?
think we should start offering.
Mataji, offering we will start like a 12 of, yeah, is already there.
No, there's homages, then there's Pushpanjali. No, there's homages, offering, Pushpanjali, then Arti. So what do you want to do now?
The homages we start.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
We are very happy to have a personal son of Srila Prabhupada here, His Grace Sauri Prabhu, who took initiation from Srila Prabhupada directly in 1976. So since then, dedicated his life completely in the service of Srila Prabhupada and chanting and reading and serving for the past 50 plus years. So we are one of the very few congregations who are blessed with such a presence of such a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada among all the temples all over the world observing this festival today. So we want to welcome Prabhuji and we are very thankful for this association. We also want to welcome Her Grace Shyamala Sakhi Mataji, who's also been chanting 16 rounds of comments since early 80s. So we have spent a lot of time in Mayapur and Prabhupada village, contributed to the movement in many different capacities, book distribution, temple services, and they're still continuing to do that. And we are very fortunate that we are physically close to them, that they can drive and come here and be with us and share this experience. Very happy to have you here.
So it's described that Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan. He comes and he delivers the most fallen first. So Srila Prabhupada, as a representative of Chaitanya, he came to America first and delivered the most fallen. And actually, it wasn't until the Indians joined later that we learned how to behave properly. We learned, because in the earlier days, we were pretty hard on each other, actually. And anyway, we're very, very fortunate that people from cultured backgrounds have joined this movement and taught us how to respect and honor not only each other, but every single living entity. So when I think of Srila Prabhupada, I think about when he was personally present, what the movement was like. And he had such devotion and love to Krishna and such potency that he could turn people from very, very questionable backgrounds into devotees of Krishna. And the movement in those days was very full of energy and vitality and enthusiasm. I was in Hawaii, and we would go on Harinam to Waikiki. Has anyone been to Hawaii? You've been to Hawaii, okay. There's a street called Kalakaua Avenue, and it's in the Waikiki district, and it's the main tourist area in all of Hawaii. It's in Honolulu. And it's just crowded with tourists walking back and forth, going into the shops and buying their Hawaiian shirts and, getting their hula skirts and getting their, flower garlands and, all kinds of things. And every Saturday evening we would go on Harinam, and there was not a single Indian amongst us, not one. We had, African Americans, we had Mexicans, we had, regular Americans, we had some Chinese and Japanese also, but no Indians. In those days, the Indians weren't really joining the Hare Krishna movement. I mean, Srila Prabhupada had a small handful of Indian disciples. They came later. Lord Chaitanya, he delivered the fallen first. So we all we had such enthusiasm for Srila Prabhupada, such devotion and such dedication. And we utilized our fallen natures in his service. In every way, our enthusiasm was very, very, very intense. And when we did kirtan in Waikiki, we had very talented musicians playing mridanga, kartals, singing, dancing. And we were also between the ages of like 20 to 27 or something like that. And we would put on a performance like you would have never seen and has not been seen since. It's not visible anymore. Jumping up and down. You get shoved into the middle and you dance around, jumping and twirling and playing kartals and mridanga, perfectly timed, and with the chanting with a full heart, with full energy and melody. The tourists were amazed. They would stop and they'd crowd around us. The whole sidewalk was packed around the kirtan party. And it created a safety hazard because those unfortunate people that didn't care to see the performance of Sankirtan, in order to get by, they would have to go into the street and there's traffic and to get around and so they could continue on. So the police would come and they'd say, "I'm sorry," or they wouldn't say that, "I'm sorry." They say, "You guys have to move. You cannot stay in one place. You stay in one place, you gather a crowd, and you create a safety hazard." So we would have to walk up and down, and we would continue on with our chanting. Also, to some kind of like give some understanding of Srila Prabhupada's potency. We're coming from the Western world, and we are trained from very young age to like go after the opposite sex. That's just, you're supposed to do that. You know, if you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know, something's wrong with you, like that. And now, we meet Srila Prabhupada, and we're wearing saffron. The temples were full of saffron, brahmacharis, from Western backgrounds, all with very questionable, you know, histories, like this. And for many of us, we stayed brahmachari throughout Srila Prabhupada's time. All right? And then when Srila Prabhupada left, water came down and seeked its level, and almost every one of us got married. Almost like 95%. So this exhibits Srila Prabhupada's potency also. All right? And every one of us, if you have some like memories, like of very significant people that have left this world, you remember what you were doing, where you were, what you were doing, and who you were with. So personally, when I heard the news that Srila Prabhupada had departed this world, I was on the altar. I had just finished doing the Darshan Artik for Sri Panchatattva in the Honolulu Temple. And I was, as we all did, we got down on our hands and knees, and we wiped the temple, the altar floor, after we did the Artik. And I was in the middle of doing that, and a devotee came, and he announced that Srila Prabhupada had left this world. And I froze. I'm on the altar, you know, and I'm wiping the floor, and I froze. Then I got my act together, and I finished, and I came off the altar, and devotees are crying. But I didn't cry. I had been a devotee for about 2.5 years, and I respected Srila Prabhupada. I honored Srila Prabhupada, but I never spoke to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada never spoke to me. I did some service for Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada came to the farm, we didn't have plumbing. Srila Prabhupada had to use a toilet. I dug a hole for him so that he could pass stool into it. I got to do that service. I went out and collected Lakshmi to help build Bombay Temple. So I got to do some service. But I never got that opportunity to have a personal interaction with Srila Prabhupada. I came this close from being able to have a personal interaction. When I got my Brahman initiation on Gaur Purnim Day in Mayapur in 1977, this is in February that year. So Srila Prabhupada was very sick. So there was an initiation, there was like a big initiation at that time, 100 people in Mayapur. And that's just a small little drop of what it is today. But in those days, it was actually a large initiation. And afterwards, I went out and collected amongst the pilgrims. And it was, in those days, the Mayapur festival, maybe 400 devotees. Now you can't even count them. So it's not that Srila Prabhupada's movement hasn't increased, but it's different now. So I took the Lakshmi I had collected, all the rupee coins and rupee bills, and I tore off of my saffron dhoti a strip, and I put it without folding it or anything, and it made a ball about this big, full of Lakshmi. And then I went up to Prabhupada's quarters, and Brahmananda Maharaj and Tamal Krishna Maharaj were there. They were attending Srila Prabhupada. And I said, here, I've collected my Guru Dakshin. I want to give this to Srila Prabhupada. So then they said, okay, if Srila Prabhupada's awake, you can give it to him. But he was asleep. So I missed that opportunity to get some personal interaction with Srila Prabhupada. But I take this as a blessing. For now, 50 years later, I have this determination and desire to have that personal interaction with Srila Prabhupada in the future. And in order to get that, because he is in a very pure place, I have to become pure. So therefore, I try to follow Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada always stressed, over and over and over again, 4 regular principles, chant 16 rounds, and attend Mangal Artik. These were like the main, his main emphasis on he wanted all of us to do. And read my books. So this is basically what I try to do in my life. And I have a habit of falling asleep when I read. So what I do every morning is I come home from the temple after Mangal Artik and I finish my rounds and I make an offering of fruit. And I wake up our deities and I do the offering. And then while I'm eating fruit, eating grapes or eating whatever, I read. Because you do not fall asleep when you read. So in this way, I managed to kind of go through Srila Prabhupada's books. I don't know how many times. I've really focused on Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's what I really focus on. I really relish. And in this way, I'm trying to become pure. And I just would like to thank all of you for joining us and becoming part of this movement after Srila Prabhupada left. Because after Srila Prabhupada left, the water there was a vacuum. And we didn't do very well with each other. We didn't have this compassion in our heart for each other. And we had, many of us, not all. And we didn't behave well towards each other. But when the Indians came and joined the Hare Krishna movement, we learned from you how to be respectful and how to treat each other with kindness and compassion. And it has partially filled the vacuum that what happened when Srila Prabhupada left. And so I'm just like I'm the only Westerner here. When Srila Prabhupada was on the planet, it was all Westerners. Like in Mayapur, it was, in Vrindavan, it was 95% Westerners. And in Chennai, a lot of Italians, So now, we're very grateful and, you actually saved us from, because Srila Prabhupada said that there's no external force that can destroy Iskcon. It can only be destroyed from within. And if we didn't learn how to treat each other and respectfully and with compassion and honor, this movement would have also been destroyed. Because that you cannot, it's called imploded. That's my opinion. So I like to really, really thank from the bottom of my heart all the devotees from India who are coming from cultured families and who have some, not habits, some sanskaras coming from generations of relatives and so on, so that you know how to behave, and you've taught us how to behave properly, so we can continue to preach and practice Krishna consciousness with effect. So this day is traditionally honored in glorification of Srila Prabhupada, not by a lecture, but by homages. So this is my homage. So now I'm going to pass the microphone around, and we would like everyone else to please say something of how Srila Prabhupada, how you are indebted to Srila Prabhupada, how you honor Srila Prabhupada, what effect Srila Prabhupada has had on your life. And so I'm going to pass the microphone to, actually, he became in touch with Krishna consciousness before me, but never got formally initiated. Thakur Bhai Topiwala. Where are you?
Let all go devotees first. I am the life member. Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deva Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyat Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. In this material world, from the time of creation, there has been many dynasties, many missionaries, many sampradayas has been existing, come and go. But somehow or other, in a recent history, when we analyze the Prabhupada mission, it's a unique mission, never had been established under this condition by anyone. So, if we say that, there is no exaggeration. There are so many things happen in the missionary work, it's a mind-boggling. First of all, when Prabhupada tried in India for 30 years, India is a land of a Krishna consciousness, but still he struggled there. At time he had a stroke, he had a health issues, but somehow or other he was fully convinced of the Krishna consciousness philosophy, and he continued doing that. he had a strategy. Had a strategy that whole India is so much influenced by the Western culture. Even today, there are lots and lots of people still they admire the Western way of life. So Prabhupada thought that if I go back to Western country, bring these Western people back to India, they will all follow it. And that has become a true today. People, I am not authorized to criticize, but even India, still Western influence is a very prominent. And when they see that the people from all over the world, even with the white skin, they see them, they want to follow them, even today. That is the influence of a Western culture. And Prabhupada had a success. There are few other things also I have witnessed on those days. When Prabhupada mission was going around, there were 3 distinguished missions were going on at the same time. Very prominent, very prominent. One was transcendental meditation by, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Then there was another prominent was Sun Moon Young. He was a Korean guy. And he had a lot of influence on the people. And he had a couple of books. And there are lots of people followed him. Lots of people followed him. In compared to that, the Prabhupada mission, and all of those people who were the followers, who were very educated people. They were lawyers, they were doctors, engineers. Not only that, they were pouring so much money. They had donated so much money to those missions. Even if anybody remember, the Acharya Rajneesh has so many Rolls Royce in his mission. But look at the Prabhupada mission. Krishna, he did not send him engineers, doctors, he sent him hippies. I do not know Sauri Prabhu had that touch at that time or not, but somehow or other, he had become a part of it, right? Prabhupada mission is not just a religious mission. He wanted to turn the whole world around back to the original. He is the only one, he has been talking about the Varnashram Dharma. No sadhu is even to today talking about the Varnashram Dharma. He wanted to go back to the original. Often he used this phrase that unless and until we go back to the root cause of it, there will be no solution to the problem. Very strongly. Imagine in the age of a space program, people are talking about moon landing and Mars landing and everything, and he is talking about the horse and buggy. He wanted to bring that original, there is a one episode, I have read about it, when Prabhupada came to New Vrindavan, right? And people were very enthusiastic about him, So it was a very old house. And the toilet, the flush was not working in that house, right? So devotee, they started working on it all night to fix it, for Prabhupada to use it. So Prabhupada came and in the morning, they thought he was going to use that. So Prabhupada said, give me lota. He picked up that lota and tell one of the disciple, just carry with me. The disciple did not know what he is doing. Right? So he said, just follow me. Just follow me. He did not know where he is going. With the lota, he goes out in the jungle, finish the obligation, come back. He gives lota back to the disciple, go and wash it. He didn't have any kind of a detergent. He said, take the dirt. Take the dirt and wash it out. Imagine what kind of change he was wanted to make. Do you think it's going to be possible now? The reason why we are so much attracted to the Prabhupada mission, he has often talked about simple living and high thinking. Simple living and high thinking. Let us honest be in our own mind. We have adopted high living and high thinking. No simple living. Even though we want to implement simplicity in our life, it's a big challenge. I have been retired for 20 years. All the time I'm thinking, wind up everything, but I'm stuck in such a situation, although it doesn't seem to be practical for me, right? Somehow or other, I have been affiliated with one of the Hindu temple here in Charlotte. That was the first temple in Charlotte, I never knew about anything about even Hinduism. What is Hinduism? What is the root of it? And all the people, those people who belong to that religion, whether it's a Christianity, whether it's a Muslim religion, not necessarily everybody knows their true history. We just follow it because we are born into that race and we have to continue it. I come across thousands of American students at the temple who are inquisitive about this Hinduism. Although they are not fully Krishna consciousness, but they want to know about the Hinduism. Especially this yoga meditation. It has become a $1 billion business nowadays. $1 billion business. People are, take 100 hours a course, they do their physical exercise, and then they start their own institute, and then charge $40, $50 an hour. I come across some Americans, and I ask them, what do you do? So they said, I do yoga. So I said, what do you do in yoga? Do you believe in God? He said, no, I don't believe in God. So I said, that's not a yoga. If you don't believe in God, then it's just remain on a physical exercise, right? Until then, they don't feel, but still, they will want to continue. So Prabhupada has, based on Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many vices on Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned, right? And there are two main vices. We are misguided and quarrelsome. We are misguided and we see, and we are also part of the misguided. Look at where the technology is going. We are not left with the choice without using this technology. AI and Grok and this and that and all those things. We are not left with the choice. Although we want to become a devotee, we have to rely upon it. So this is the grace of the Prabhupada, that somehow or other, if we can implement little bit what the Prabhupada has taught us, it will help us to go through temporary time. Kali Yuga is going to go on. Kali Yuga is not going to stop his way, right? But this is Prabhupada mercy, that he has given another thing, Prabhupada mission, he never forced anybody to be Krishna consciousness. When Prabhupada was traveling, there are so many people from different missionary, Christian missionary, even Muslims, they all wanted, they were all surprised that how he is doing this, that these Western people are taking so much interest. So they come and see and ask him a question, He never said that, no, you join my mission. Then they will ask you, are you a Christian? Yes, I am Christian. Do you follow Jesus Christ? They said no. So then how can you say you are Christian? Then some Indian will come, Hindu, do you follow Krishna? No, I don't follow Krishna. How can you say you are Hindu? So he has a very professional way to make the people convinced to understand our spiritual identity. And we know that now to maintain the spiritual identity's material world is a big challenge. If you look at all the prophets of all the religion, they have talked about God, right? But see what they have gone through. Everybody in all the missionary work, they were harassed by the people. If you look at the Jainism, if you look at the Muslimism, if you look at any, they were even beaten up. They were beaten up. So I don't think we have come to that point yet, right? So at least by Prabhupada's case, we pray safe. We are not prepared to take that kind of a blow on our life. With a little care and caution, he has given us this little formula, and as best as we can. There is one verse also, I always think about Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhutesu, name dveshyus priya, ye bhajanti ma bhakta mahitesu. Same principle applied to the Prabhupada. Prabhupada has equality to everyone. He doesn't hate anybody and he doesn't, love anybody. But whoever render any little service, he is dear to him. So any little service, and that's what he did. All the people who helped him, they were not all the devotees. Whichever way they have served him, he took their advantage and kept going. So that was the unique things about the Prabhupada for this era. And on this day, we acknowledge our deep gratitude to Prabhupada, come to this world and given us a little solace to go through this severe age of Kali Yuga. We still have to continue and we still have to fight against the Kali Yuga, and we will do our best, and we beg Prabhupada's mercy to help us to carry through. Thank you very much, for your support.
Do you want to give a time limit?
Yeah, maybe 3. Yeah, Mataji's.
What's the time limit?
3-4 minutes each. But Mataji can speak.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking I can't do it in 3-4 minutes. Maybe somebody else should speak first.
No, Mataji.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshtarine. I don't have anything planned, but I have a lot of thoughts all jumbled up in my mind, as usual. I'm not a very scripted speaker. So I will just speak from the heart. And a lot of things are going on in my mind. First, I want to say that this is a very important day. Yes, we observe Gaura Purnima, we observe Janmashtami, we observe the different appearances of the Lord and His incarnations, and we observe the appearance and disappearance of different acharyas in our lineage, Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. But for us, and I hope I speak for everyone, but personally for me, Prabhupada's appearance and disappearance are the most important days that I can think of. Because without Prabhupada, none of us would know anything and we would not be here. We can put everything on hold. Our life and everything important can be put on hold just to observe these 2 days. If we minimize or sideline these 2 days thinking, oh, I have something more important to do, or there's something else happening tomorrow or day after, that is a big disservice. Because that service is only coming because we knew, because of Prabhupada, that we are observing different festivals, whether we do it privately or publicly. So please do not take these days lightly. They are very, very important. This is the backbone and foundation of our movement, is our loyalty and dedication to Srila Prabhupada. So I just wanted to start off with that. This is also a very bittersweet day, especially for Prabhupada disciples. It's a very bittersweet day. Because on one hand, we realize there's no difference between appearance and disappearance. Because the pure devotee appears for our benefit, and he also leaves in such a way for our benefit to show us. But still it's bitter because we no longer have that Vapu association. And for those of us who never saw Prabhupada, who never met Prabhupada, and are grand disciples, and there will be many future generations of great, 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 great grand disciples, we will always be in separation. We will always live in viraha. And for us also, it's a bit like Achinta Beda Beda, because although we have so much access to Prabhupada Vani through his lectures, his recorded lectures, his purports, what to speak of the video coverage, his bhajans, his song, we have so much access, and yet we never saw him personally. Yet we never had any interaction with him. Maybe some of us were not even on the planet when he appeared and disappeared. So we will always be living in separation. So that's one aspect. The other is we will always be connected with Prabhupada, because his disciples, his grand disciples, great-grand disciples, that connection will always be there. But more than that, his Vani is our connection. His lectures, his purports, all the video footage. There's so much that we can be connected with. And of course, the disciples that are present now, it's only a question of time. Maximum, I would say, maybe 20 years down the line, there will be no Prabhupada disciples on this planet. And it'll be a very sad day when the last Prabhupada disciple leaves this planet. So our access to Prabhupada is not only through his books, but also through his disciples, especially those who had so much Vapu association and are still alive and have dedicated their lives. Satsrup Maharaj, for example, he is probably now 85, 86. Mukunda Maharaj is in his mid-80s. There are so many disciples who it's only a question of like maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years, and they will no longer be on the planet. So just by hearing from them, or hearing what they rendered, what service they rendered, what connection and love and feeling they had for Prabhupada, we feel a little bit, a tiny glimpse, we get that appreciation, that love for Prabhupada, because we personally didn't know him or see him. So Prabhupada showed us how to love Krishna. He showed us how to live in Krishna consciousness. And most important lesson for all of us, only a question of time, is how to leave. So how to love, how to live, and how to leave. And the leaving will be dependent on how we have lived. We cannot expect to just be thinking of Krishna and absorbed in Krishna consciousness at the time of leaving our body if we have not lived our life like that. And that's one of the most important lessons. We can have the teachings. It's said that example is better than precept. Prabhupada's whole life. If you have not read the Lilamrita, please, I encourage everyone. Even if you don't start with any book, start with the Lilamrita. We must know the man behind the mission. Sometimes we are so focused on the mission that we forget who is the man behind the mission. What did he sacrifice? What did he come to give us? And why did he do that? If we can adopt his mood, then we'll be successful in spreading the mission. So the mood is really important. And when you read the Lilamrita, not just the Lilamrita, any book that has been written by his disciples, and there are so many now, there are so many. And each one has a different flavor and a different mood. Of course, the Lilamrita is the authorized biography. But if you read personal memoirs of Miracle on 26 2nd Avenue by Mukunda Maharaj, it is so sweet, the mood, or by Hayagriva Prabhu, the Hare Krishna Explosion, or Vrindavan Days, or Burijan Prabhu's book or Guru Das Prabhu's book. There's so many. There's so many. And that's just for reading. What to speak of listening to all the memories. It's just ongoing. There's so many DVDs and series of memories. And then the videos of following Srila Prabhupada and listening to those devotees that were there and when Prabhupada was traveling. This is the one way to connect with Prabhupada as a person. We cannot forget that he was a person. Otherwise we just, it is said that the Guru is worshipped as God, but at the same time we should not deify the person. We should not deify the person. He is a person who can relate to us, and people are alive who did relate with him. He had a sense of humor. He had his likes and dislikes. So ultimately, we need to develop that relationship with Prabhupada as a person also. I was just thinking of the name Prabhupada, and maybe you can help me, but some of the things that were going in my mind, I was thinking, okay, what qualities can I take from his name that I can think of? Like P, for example, I was thinking, well, Prabhupada brought the pure teachings. He didn't water the philosophy down. He brought the pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave us the sar, the essence, the pure teachings. Unlike so many other, like Thakur Topi Bala Prabhu said, other people came to America before Prabhupada. But did they give the pure teachings? No. They watered it down to suit the American taste because they were afraid that if we give the unadulterated version, who's going to take it? Prabhupada never compromised. He gave us the pure teachings. R, he was revolutionary. Like his guru, he was revolutionary. And even more so because he made so many adjustments that would be unheard of in India. And one of the biggest adjustments was having women, which is half the population of the planet. Having women do equal amount of service in all areas in Krishna consciousness, especially in the West when he began. Women did everything the men did. They went on in book distribution. Women pujaris. So that's revolutionary, accommodating women and having a brahmacharini ashram. That's unheard of. There's no such thing as a brahmacharini ashram. But he did that. And what was the reason? How to spread the movement of Lord Chaitanya. So he was revolutionary. A, accessible. He made himself so accessible, especially in the early days. First of all, people didn't understand his position, how exalted he was. But he made himself so accessible. Anyone could just, in the early days, people could just, just go in and talk to him and ask all kinds of questions. Some of them stupid, some of them very philosophical questions. He made himself accessible. He was bold. He never thought small. He was so bold in his preaching, his plans, everything was big. He said, go for the rhinoceros. If you fail, people say, well, he went for the rhinoceros. But if you succeed, so Prabhupada never thought small. He thought big, and he was bold in his preaching. He was not fearful of anyone. He didn't mind debating with anyone because he had full faith in the teachings of Krishna. He said he could talk to scientists, he could talk to nuns, he could talk to anyone. There was not one person from any social status that he couldn't relate with. He could relate with women, he could relate with elders, youngers, children, everyone. And most of all, he was, in spite of all this, he was very humble. It's like a contradiction. If you have someone who has so much knowledge and they inspire so much, generally what happens to conditioned souls like us, if we are very knowledgeable or we have some certain skills and people are glorifying us, we tend to become proud and puffed up. And we think, oh yeah, this is, they're praising me. Yeah, they're right. Actually, I am like that. But Prabhupada was so humble. There's so many lectures you can hear of, I think one was, I'm sure it didn't happen just once, many times in Paris when he was giving, and all the students were like, why is he sitting on a seat and doing this? And was also in Sweden, but it was also in France, it happened. And he said, I am a 10th class man, or 4th class. And it's not just for the sake of saying it, he genuinely felt that, because he felt himself as a humble servant of his guru, who was bringing, and he said, you can see that in the preface of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, all credit goes to my Guru Maharaj. So all this, and so humble. And his teachings, his appeal, everything was universal. It appealed to everyone. How is it possible for someone who has never heard of Krishna? They don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. At least we have some background. You know, even the most materialistic Indian in India will still know who's Krishna. They might not follow, they'll know Janmashtami, they know Ram Navami, we'll know something. But for people who have no knowledge, zero, to be able to dedicate their lives is a proof of Prabhupada's potency and pure teachings that he brought. It's not easy to to transform someone's heart. It is the most difficult thing to do, is just transform someone's heart and to do a complete turnaround from their lifestyle. For us, it's not so difficult. We're familiar with the food, we're familiar with the dress, we're familiar with some of the teachings, so it's not so hard. What's hard for us Indians is our attachments to our family, our attachments to our conception that you must be materially successful, and we have our own baggage. Everyone comes with a baggage. The Westerners have their baggage, we have our baggage. But it's very difficult to transform anyone's heart, what to speak of Westerners. So, where was I? You, then H. No, we did humble. There has to be another H. No, probably, yeah, okay, humble, you, then another P, patient. A quality which I sorely lack, and a lot of us maybe don't have that patience. Imagine someone who doesn't know how to put on a dhoti. They don't know how to clean themselves after they pass stool. They don't know which hand to eat from. Prabhupada taught all this. And with such patience. Not just teaching all this, but just even tolerating all the mistakes his young, fledgling American disciples made. The fights they would have, the different things. He was so patient and so forgiving. What's the other A we can think of? I said accessible. What quality can you think of with that other A? Attractive, yes. Very attractive. Now, you might think, well, in what way do you think he's attractive? Okay, qualities. He can be attracted by his qualities, but also, who has described? If you listen to some of the memories, devotees have described how Prabhupada was attractive even in his movements, his smile. They said he wouldn't walk, he would glide, and he has this oceanic smile, and everything aristocratic, and everything he picked, was like, if you don't know how to eat by hand, which most Westerners didn't, but even eating by hand is an art. And he would just not touch his fingers to his mouth, just pop. So even these little bodily movements, devotees were attracted by. What to speak of the qualities? They were attracted to his chanting, his singing. It's mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing. Even my father, he was a connoisseur of classical music. But he said, it's not a technical skill, but it's that deep devotion that came from his heart when he sang. He sang with feeling and so much love and devotion. So everything about Prabhupada is attractive. His persona, his qualities, his teachings, everything. D, determined, dedication, devotion. If he was not determined, many times if you see in the Lilamrita, he said he thought in the early days, I'll just go back to India. I'll just take the next ship, cargo ship, whatever, and just go back. But he was determined because he was so devoted and dedicated. Imagine if Prabhupada had not taken Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's, and it wasn't even an instruction. We think it's an instruction, but actually he was just saying that. So I think you're an intelligent young man and you should preach this message in the Western world. He didn't have to take it as an instruction, but he did. Imagine if he hadn't taken that to his heart. Imagine if he if he wasn't determined and hadn't got onto that cargo ship. We cannot imagine where we would be, where our lives, we would have no direction and no purpose. And we sing in the prayers to the spiritual master and the Guru Puja song, may his fame is spread all over the three worlds. Actually, right now, his fame is not spread all over three worlds. What to speak of in this world? But generations down the line, and even now, if there was no potency and purity, how could this movement, 50 years almost, 48 years since his departure, how could it spread? They say 108 temples or something like that when Prabhupada left the planet. How many are there now? 600, 700? 800 something temples all over, farm communities. How many devotees? How many temples? There has to be some potency that he's still attracting us. People are still dedicated and devoted to him. So if he did not have that dedication to his guru, if he did not have that devotion, if he did not have that determination, we would not be here. So if we can have just a minuscule of his qualities, and Prabhupada said, I don't want many stars. Even just one moon is enough to illuminate. So if we can be little satellites or little moons for him, our life is worth sacrificing. He's given us purpose and meaning in life. And for that, I am personally grateful. I'm sure all of us are. Sometimes, I was born in 1964, so I was thinking, I was 13 years old when Prabhupada left this world. And I was actually in England, in London in 1973, when Prabhupada came to London, and there was a Rath Yatra. And if you see Following Srila Prabhupada, that DVD, he danced the whole way. The whole way he was dancing on that Rath Yatra. And even the police were saying, because every time Prabhupada would dance, a huge crowd would gather, and they would say, the policemen there, the nickname for the police is bobbies. You would tell the bobbies, you got to control him, it's just too much of a crowd is gathering. And so we can't do that, It was one of the most ecstatic Rath Yatras that happened in England. That was 1973. So I was in in London at that time, but I'm thinking I'm so unfortunate. I never got a chance to. So a part of me thinks, I wish I had even just got a glimpse of him. Because we used to go to Oxford Street, I used to see devotees chanting, go to Trafalgar Square, and who knows, I don't know if I was there for Rath Yatra, but I just have memories of devotees. So we live our life in separation from him. We live our life in dedication to following in his footsteps and serving those who have and are continuing to serve him. So thank you so much. I'm sorry, I have a tendency to go on and on. But thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. I don't know, is there an MC? I don't know who's who here, but please.
There are elders. He wanted it. No, first no.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishwadaya Krishprashthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pacharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पार्षदिस्तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Prabhupada, he preached in India from 1950 to 1970. When he was in the age of 55, sorry. I think 55 to 70, am I right?
He left, he was 69 when he left.
So then 1955 maybe, to 1970.
He came in 65. And he was 69 years old at that time.
Yeah, around 15 years in India, I believe. But we didn't follow him. When I say we, I mean all the Indians. The one thing I really appreciate of the West is that they accept. When Prabhupada in 15 years, when he went around India, people just considered him as one of the sannyasis, or one of the godmen, and give him some dakshina, accept what he said. But that acceptance was not the real acceptance. And one thing I really appreciate when we talk about the West and how he expanded his preaching and Krishna consciousness is that people accept. They accepted him and they followed him. And when they came back, as Thakur Bhai was saying, when Prabhupada came back to India and started preaching with the Westerners, then we started following, because we were aghast to see how white-skinned people are wearing tulsi mala and having tilak and having shikha and jumping and dancing and serving Krishna so well. So acceptance, I'm very inspired by this acceptance, and whenever I read Srila Prabhupada books, and that is for every one of us, we should accept in toto, because Prabhupada is 100% right, and Prabhupada's purports are so pure and divine that just by accepting and following it strictly and sincerely, definitely we'll achieve our goal. The other thing is, which is being circulated very recently in the Iskcon community, is Kirtan standards. Just now I heard His Holiness Bhakti Anurag Swami Maharaj gave a seminar on Kirtan standards, and so many things are emphasized, and we need to follow that. One of the major Kirtan standards that Prabhupada had enunciated was that during Kirtan there will be no harmonium. During Kirtan it will only be three things: the kartal, that bigger one, what is that called? That one.
During Arti.
Huh?
During the Arti Kirtan.
Arti Kirtan, because in bhajans in the seminar what Maharaj was saying was that in bhajans we can use the harmonium, but not during Arti Kirtans. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this. And there were some 5 tunes he talked about that Prabhupada himself taught the devotees that need to be followed. Probably we can have the other tunes. I don't know how valid they are in the eyes of senior Prabhupada disciples, but the 5 tunes that Srila Prabhupada gave should be the ones that we should sing during our Kirtan. There are many other factors, of course, I won't go deep into that. In fact, one Srila Prabhupada disciple, His Holiness Rasananda Swami Maharaj, who just passed away last month. Oh no, he passed away in June, sorry. Rasananda. He was a Prabhupada disciple and he used to live in Hyderabad. Earlier he was in Surat, so I know him. So he was Rasanandat Brahmachari, he was not a Maharaj. No, he was from Canada. He was a doctor from McGill University. So I'll show you his picture. But he kept very aloof. He didn't really come to the temple so often. Though he was invited by the Hyderabad temple to come and give lectures, but he kept himself very aloof from traveling and coming into the mainstream of preaching. So he wrote a book on Kirtan standards very recently, just a month or two before his passing away. That book was published, and I have some copies of that book. So we need to emphasize on our kirtans which satisfy Srila Prabhupada, because we are singing for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, and of course all devotees. But these are some things that I feel that when we give our homage or when we give our regards or our heart to Srila Prabhupada, we need to give it in a way, or give it in or do such things that could make him happy. I think, considering the time, I will pass on the mic to other devotees to glorify Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनेति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे. Like many of us who are second generation disciples of Srila Prabhupada, nevertheless, all of us have come into the movement because the first and foremost reason is we came to the movement because of Srila Prabhupada, not our spiritual master. And in my own case, that is also true, like everybody else. There are two things I want to mention today is that there are two primary reasons. I just was compelled, convinced on the first experience itself, I convinced that this is my home. Even though I was going from other so-called gurus and teachings and all those things, they could not able to convince me, but just two examples struck right into my consciousness. One was his books. So straightforward, so bold, so clear. That initially I had a little bit of struggle when he translates Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga as Bhakti Yoga, all these things. But years later, when I was reading Jiva Goswami's Tattva Sandarbha, and I could be able to relate that he did not deviated even a quarter of an inch. That everything that he said was the indirect teachings from the previous acharyas. He did not added, he did not deleted anything, everything was in full 100% compliance. But initially I had that coming from a textbook linguistic translation did create easy infusing his own ideas into it. When Krishna says Buddhi Yoga, he says it is Bhakti Yoga. But the deeper study of his books takes us to a place where Prabhupada's mercy is fully manifested. The second that attracted me so much is his paintings, especially Jadurani Mataji's paintings. When I looked at them on my second visit, third visit, those paintings in the temple, I felt that if somebody can paint about Krishna so beautifully and so clearly with all nitty-gritty details, and if an acharya can teach a Western disciple to that level of detail, and that person can draw this, means that the acharya knows exactly what it is. And then we don't need to go to anywhere else. So, and another incident that also inspired me a lot, when there was a pastime when a young mother who happened to be also Srila Prabhupada's disciple, she has a young child, but she was feeling so much separation because of taking care of that child. She could not able to worship the deity. And one day it so happened that she left the child in the temple room, and she was in the deity room altar worshipping the deity, and Prabhupada happened to see that. And Prabhupada, whose child is this? And the mother came running towards him, and she said, and the child is crying, why you are worshipping the deity? and I want to worship Krishna. I didn't for so long, and your child is Krishna for you. That is your deity. And that struck me so deep. Srila Prabhupada never compromised on about the standards, details, and worshipping Krishna, when, what, how, all those details. But at the same time, he was so practical in telling that how to take care of the families, especially. You know, for a parent who has a children, it is your primary responsibility because you are representing Krishna in their lives. So for somebody like me, it was so important that he was very clear, elaborate, and very strict with the Shastric instructions. At the same time, he translated in a language for somebody like in Kali Yuga they can understand and relate to. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Anybody wants to speak?
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'll summarize a few aspects from I Will Build a Temple by Giriraj Maharaj. I read like 120 pages so far. And Giriraj Maharaj became the temple president of Iskcon Juhu. And only one thing was very common: problems. Problem with Mr. Nair, problem with rats infestation, problem with local people, and problem among devotees, problem of no money, right? You can relate it better. That's why I'm telling. No, not, so sometimes, problems are good. We have to stand up, we have to solve, because the math book is full of problems. If you solve, what happens? You get top marks. So now here, within our community also, we'll have a lot of problems. So with problems, be part of the problem, be part of the solution, and encourage others how we can solve our own problems. It's all problems. So that's what I'm reading this book, because I can at least facilitate little bit the drive for our next Sankirtan hall and future temple. So this will be all our offering. It's a monumental task, like what our spiritual masters have done. Please come forward. Let's all do together, both services and financially. Both are required, service and finance. So please don't shy away. There will be problems. That's what I'm reading in this book. So I'll illustrate one or two examples. So there was so much fighting going on, and there's two groups, and Giriraj Brahmachari was unable to handle. And now so much communication through mail, that was, mail means regular mail, telegram, phone call, so much communication. Once the report went to Prabhupada, and he telegrammed saying, Nara Narayana, return to US. And till I come, please cooperate. Right? So that kind of thing, it is there always. We have different mindsets, we have different mentality, we want to do different things in different ways, right? Which is all fine, but how do we align ourselves for a common goal? I have to bend, you have to bend, everybody has to bend, so that our one goal, common goal. So like that, in this book that I'm reading, it is very, very inspirational, and how much hard work they have to do in the kitchen, taking care of the deities, Radha Ras Bihari ji. So like that, we have to read something from a practical aspect. And my today for all of you is, we have embarked on this journey. Let's complete. What's the problem? Right? Let's complete it. Do a nice offering in next few years. Let's take Lord Chaitanya's movement forward just by building Sankirtan hall. Dhoom karna hai Sankirtan. Like Prabhuji said, right? so much Sankirtan we can do, then the temple will automatically come. There's no doubt about that. If we do Sankirtan nicely, the temple will automatically come down. 5 million, 2 million, doesn't matter. Don't worry about temple right now. Just worry about how can we manifest a Sankirtan hall, and then temple will come. It's its own time of manifestation. Let's all come together, serve together, solve the problems, be nice with each other, always treat people as a person, respect people. Doesn't matter what it is, but the problems will keep coming. We have to deposit a lot of positive balance with each other, and then we can draw some credits here and there, right? Without positive deposit, what will you do? Nothing will happen, right? So let's deposit lot of positive aspects with each other, and we make mistakes, definitely. We will make lots and lots of mistakes, right? That is common. But solve. My brother is here. He'll kick me in the butt if for some issues. Hey man, you did this. I said, yes, I did. Tell me what's the solution, right? So he corrected me many times, and today I'm not wearing dhoti. That's the problem. He'll kick me again today. Really. So somebody should be there like that, right? So I'll give some information. I met the future mayor of Mint Hill today. So we want to have some engagement with the leaders, right? So they know, who we are, what we are trying to do. So we establish a relationship, and if we do want something nicely, we can get it done. It's not that, we need to have some civic engagement. So I met all the commissioners and future commissioners and future mayor. So whoever is having the voting rights, please vote for the mayor, Dale Dalton. His name is Dale Dalton. Okay? So whoever has the right on November 4th, please go vote for him. He helped in our rezoning. They were not favorable, but they were in the middle. So we have to, it is easy if you're not favorable, if they are on the other side, it's difficult, but they were in the middle. So it is easy to get them for rezoning. So for future, it will be very helpful. Let's have them engaged. So whenever we do Bhumi Puja, they said all of them will come from mayor's office, and I'm forgetting one more office. But coming to, it's very, I am journaling 5 minutes every day, what I did for the temple project, and I'm reading this book every day 15 minutes. So it's how Giriraj Maharaj offered so much pain to now such a beautiful temple. I've not visited. My goal next time when I go to India, I want to visit the temple. That's how, it is deep. So all request you to cooperate, give and serve. Just don't stay on the sidelines. Please come forward, serve, serve, serve. Problems, solve, serve. Problems, solve, serve. That's it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Srila Prabhupada, just the name can evoke, so many emotions of gratitude for all of us, especially second generation. We have not met him in person, but we know that we are not connected to anyone in person more than him. He is there in his books as purports. Many times when everyday reading, when we do and when I read the purport, I had felt like this is exactly for me. Srila Prabhupada is saying this, how it could happen. It cannot be coincidence. And as Mataji said, he's a person, he's present through the books. And then more elaborate and personal than the purports is his lectures. So when we see him explaining what he writes with examples from his own life and analogies and taking the questions, that is, we become more closer to him. And a bit more personal is his letters, where he is thinking about a personal devotee to whom he is writing, and he is addressing his concerns, and as Mataji said, all his qualities are coming out naturally in the letters. He has many times, even in the lectures, we can see that he was overwhelmed, talking about thanking his disciples and said that you are my father and mother, I am your old child. And you have all been sent by my Guru Maharaj because he knows I cannot do it alone. So that all the other qualities and how he's concerned, like if a Prabhu is writing, he's asking about his wife, his children. And yeah, so he's so personal. And I wanted to share one pastime that Rangadevi Mataji shared with me in Sadhu Sangha. So I was trying to help her to dress Srila Prabhupada Murti maybe 6-7 years before when it was in Boon. So she told me that, be careful, Srila Prabhupada moves. Yeah. So I was like surprised. Mataji, did I hear it right? Then she said that her experience once, I don't remember in which temple, this is after, of course, Srila Prabhupada left this planet, maybe recently, 10-20 years back. So she had finished dressing Srila Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada, did like this and straightened his pleats and said, now I'm ready for darshan. Yeah. And recently, Urmila Mataji shared, when she came here, I was asking her about a Facebook post that she did quite some time ago, that Srila Prabhupada never actually touched the ground. Many people had said that he glides. It felt like he was not walking, he was gliding. So I was knowing her, she's a very intellectual person, so I asked her that, is there a reason why he wrote that post? And then she gave me two anecdotes of devotees, one in London temple. They were all on a morning walk. It was a rainy morning, and it was full of mud and slush, and everybody's shoes was wet. So this Mataji was thinking that as soon Prabhupada's white shoes must also be muddy, so I will go and I'll wash them. So there was no other person who came in between and washed or anything, but when she checked the shoes, there was not a bit of mud or dust on that, not a bit. And one more devotee from Australia, Prabhupada was walking in the morning walk, and he was beside Prabhupada, and he saw Prabhupada. He took his foot and he was about to step on an insect. This foot was this close, so the insect would definitely die. So he was waiting that Prabhupada just put the foot on the insect, and then he walked, and when they walked and he turned back and saw nothing happened to that insect. So this was one anecdote she told me, and then she said, you can conclude whatever you want, but so he was not an ordinary person. He's not bound by time. We haven't met him, but still it's bittersweet today, because even if we had lived one day more, he would have given us more. Till the last moment, he was giving through his lectures, through videos and everything. And as second generation, we are still here mainly because of his books and his organization. And he wrote them for all of us who were not in person with him, so he was the main person to start the movement, to make sure that it is standardized all over. We say that okay, till 1965 he struggled. But when we read through the letters and Leelamrita, there was not one day that we can claim that there was no struggle for him. Like he had to deal with so many problems, even among the leaders, and about cooperation, about devotees struggling to keep up their vows and chanting, and encouraging them, writing pages of letters, answering their questions, answering how to draw the pictures. Pictures are windows to the spiritual world. He was not in one place, and even a small detail. How does Dhruva Maharaj look like? How does does Advaita Acharya have a beard? So the artists are writing, and he's answering them all. Then we got the books full of wonderful paintings. So to conclude, we can take Mataji's case as an example, and she was introduced to Prabhupada's books, and they both are committed to reading Prabhupada's books every day, so many hours, and they've read many, many times. So she she couldn't take anybody else as a Diksha Guru for a long time. But when she spoke to her spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, after a nice conversation, Maharaj told her that, why don't you see me as somebody at the feet of Srila Prabhupada? Is that?
No, I said it's hard for me to... is this being recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I want to share it.
Okay.
We want to hear Mataji.
It's being recorded.
Okay, something like I understood that the spiritual masters, the current spiritual masters, are all servants of...
He said if someone can bring you closer and connect you more to Srila Prabhupada, is there anything wrong with that? Because I had a hard time. I was saying it's hard. I don't know if I can put somebody else's picture on the altar. I don't know if I can chant somebody else's pranam mantra. So he said, if someone can bring you closer to Prabhupada, is there anything wrong in that? And I said, absolutely not. And that's what made me change my mind.
So for us, this day is very important because, down the line, we are all having different spiritual masters, and then we will have, more and more spiritual masters to come. But what connects us, what grounds us, what binds us is that all our spiritual masters are limbs of Srila Prabhupada. They are all dedicated servants to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada is a trunk. So when we all come together, then for generations we can be together, and that's I feel is very important. As Sureshwar Prabhu, who's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, he has made this seminar, Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojana of Srila Prabhupada. He says this again and again. And one last thing that he said in his seminar was that there was a book published, and then it didn't have Prabhupada's name in that. When that book was offered to Prabhupada, the binding fell off, and everything fell off. So what Sureshwar Prabhu says is, even if it's a small talk or a kirtan or Damodar Arti, we always start with Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, because we are all hiding behind him. And he keeps us all together, and he made this point again and again that we have this practice of starting every single thing with Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. And I've seen this in Guru Maharaj Solne Jayapataka Maharaj's classes. He would jump from one Zoom to another Zoom during COVID, and now also. Even if it's a small talk, he wouldn't start without chanting Srila Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, next, who would like to go? Yeah, they would do the...
We will do last, but let's offering also.
Anybody else? Okay, then we can. Mataji, I think you have to come there for the live. Can you change? Oh.
Everyone can open like Yadi Prabhupada or Hote, we will all sing together.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he wants to. Hare Krishna Matajis and Prabhujis, and this is our offering to Srila Prabhupada, and this is written by our dear Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and at the end of the song we will read the translations. Yadi Prabhupada na hai to, tabi ki hai to, ye jeevan bahite kise. Yadi Prabhupada hai to, ye jeevan bahite kise. Yadi Prabhupada hai to, तब की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे. यदि प्रभुपाद है तो तब की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे. नीताय गौरीर अपार करुणा की दीत सकल दिसे. नीताय गौरीर अपार करुणा की दीत सकल दिसे. की कपट कष्ट साही प्रीतमान राही केवदित हरि नाम केदित मदिर पूरी वृंदावन मायापुर मठधाम मायापुर मठधाम यदि प्रभुपाद न है तो तभी की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे प्रभुपाद न है तो तभी की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे परमा मंगल श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु शिक्षा आचार्य प्रचारी सदा मदिर की करित नियोजना के करित नियोजना यदि प्रभुपाद न है तो तभी की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे किसे प्रेमा कल्पतरु निताय गौरीरा कृपा कनला भिवारी कृपा कनला भिवारी निरवधि जय पताक हृदय कुमार शरण करे जय पताक हृदय कुमार शरण करे कुमार शरण करे यदि प्रभुपाद न है तो तभी की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे यदि प्रभुपाद न है तो तभी की है तो ये जीवन बाहिते किसे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Translation. If Srila Prabhupada had not come, what would have happened? How could we have passed our lives? Who else would have distributed the unlimited mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga all over the world. Which other compassionate person would have endeavored to deliver the miscreants, sinful, impersonalistic, and voidistic people in the West? Who else would have come to distribute Harinam to them? Who else would have come forward to transform them into civilized beings? Who else would have taught them how to worship the deity form of Lord Hari day and night with arti, kirtan, and how to conduct the Rath Yatra and other grand festivals? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita contain the essence of the nectarian mellows of love of Godhead. Who else would have explained these scriptures so clearly and beautifully? Who else would have tolerated all difficulties and distributed Harinam with a pleasant heart? Who would have given us the dhams such as Mayapur, Vrindavan, and Jagannath Puri? The teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu constitute the greatest and most auspicious treasure. Who else would have engaged us in constantly practicing and preaching it? Sri Sri Nitai Gora, our desire trees of love of Godhead, desiring a drop of their mercy, Jayapataka's heart incessantly takes shelter of your divine grace.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah, we'll do Guru Aarti and the offering. Pushpanjali.
No, first Pushpanjali,
Pushpanjali,
and then
then
Samsara Dava is sung
Samsara Davasa.
during Aarti.
Afternoon tune, right?
After
Okay.
Afternoon too.
Okay. Okay. Samsara Dava?
Pushpanjali.
Pushpanjali is done, we do the whole Mangala Chalan. That's done with the Pushpanjali.
Okay,
Then
yeah.
during Aarti, Samsara Dava is sung in the afternoon too.
So,
Maybe somebody can pass the flowers around to men and women.
you can announce Mataji. You announce Mataji, we'll offer.
Okay, we're going to pass around the flowers. We will be offering Pushpanjali to Srila Prabhupada 3 times. And it's done with a complete Mangala Charan. The complete Mangala Charan is chanted, and at the end, Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, then Pushpanjali. Then we do again Prabhupada's mantra, Pranam Mantra, Pushpanjali. So this is done 3 times, and then we have Aarti. And during Aarti, Samsara Dava is sung in the afternoon tune. So please come forward when you're offering the flowers so we don't get them on the... It should be as close to Prabhupada as possible.
Yeah, Mataji is coming.
Yeah, let's try not to get the flowers on the floor. Otherwise, it'll be difficult to clean. Should I start? Om Ajnana Timirindasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta, Padakamalam, Shri Guru, Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam, Sagrajatam, Sahagana, Raghunathanvitam, Tam Sajivam, Sadvaitam, Savadhutam, Parijana, Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha, Krishna, Padan, Sahagana, Lalita, Shri Vishakha Vitamscha, Nama Om, Vishnupadaya, Krishna Pristhaya, Bhutale, Srimate, Bhaktivedanta, Swamin, Iti Namine, Namaste, Saraswati, Deve, Gauravani, Pracharine, Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Paschata, Deshatarine, Nama Om, Vishnupadaya, Krishna Pristhaya, Bhutale, Srimate, Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati, Iti Namine, Shri Varshabhanavi Devi, Dayataye, Kripabhyadhe, Krishna Sambandha, Vijnana, Daine, Prabhave Namaha, Madhurojvala, Premadya, Shirupanuga, Bhaktida, Shigora Karuna, Shakti, Vigrahaya, Namastute, Namaste, Gauravani, Shimurtaye Dinatarine, Rupanuga, Viruddha, Apasiddhanta, Dvantaharine, Namo, Gaurkishoraya, Shakshad, Vairagyamurtaye, Vipralamba, Rasambodhe, Padambujaya, Te Namaha, Nama Om, Bhakti Vinodaya, Satchidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti, Swarupaya, Rupanuga, Varayate, Gauravirbha Bhumistvam, Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha, Vaishnava Sarvabhauma, Shri Jagannatha Te Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namane Gaurtvishe Namaha, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhaktarupa Swarupakam, Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakhyam, Namami Bhakti Shaktikam, He Krishna Karuna Sindho, Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namastute, Jayatam Suruto Pangor, Mama Manda Matirgati, Matsarvasya Padambhojo, Radha Madana Mohano, Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha, Srimad Ratnangara Singhasanostho Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtalibhu Sevyamanu Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshi Vata Tathasitaha Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyastunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Esha Pushpanjali.
We offer all at once or three times?
Three times. Has everyone offered?
Yes.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Esha Pushpanjali. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Esha Pushpanjali Swaha.
Can I have my mridanga player? Sangsara Dava. No. What's the tune? Nadida Loka Chanayakaya Naga Naga Natvam Nadava Nadida Loka Chanayakaya Naga Naga Natvam Prabhtasya Kaya Nagunarnavasya Vande Garoti Charanara Vindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitra. I'm not doing it. Gita Vadita Madhyan Manasora Sena Prabhu Kirtana Nitra Gita Vadita Madhyan Manasora Sena Manchakampa Sucharanga Bhajo Vande Garoti Charanara Vindam. You sing.
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhya Manasora Sena Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhya Manasora Sena Romanchakam Pashu Taranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Sutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Shri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Sringaretana Mandir Marjanado Sringaretana Mandir Marjanado Yukta Sabhaktansha Niyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Yukta Sabhaktansha Niyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam चतुर्विधा श्री भगवत प्रसादा स्वादन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्त संगान् प्रसादा स्वादन्न तृप्तान् कृत्यैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्ना मधुरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूप प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपश्च वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयो नो रतिकेलिसिद्ध्यै यायाले भीरोक्तिरपेक्षणीया यायाले भीरोक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदक्षादतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैः उक्तस्तथा भाव्यसेव शब्दैः उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतेव किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादान् न गति कुतोऽपि यस्य प्रसादान् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वन्तस्य यशस्वी सन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरोषि चरणारविन्दम् Hare Krishna Mahamudra. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Paschatadesha Charine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaitirobhav mahotsav, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajakacharya Asotata Dasi Simad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Gauda Vaishnava ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki, Sri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shamakunda Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki, Sri Mathura Dham ki, Sri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki, Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai ki, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki, Gaur Premanandi. Our glories to some of the devotees, our glories to some of the devotees, our glories to some of the devotees, our glories to Sisi Guru and Gauranga.
So before we beg for prasadam, tomorrow is our important festival. Please be there by 10 o'clock. If you have service, be there by 10. If you don't have service, be there by 9:45. So that you can decide which service you want to do. And whoever comes first will offer a brick in their name on Bhumi Puja Day. So please race for the first. And Mataji, we should not forget the service. Whoever comes first tomorrow, we will offer a brick during Bhumi Puja. So please come, please serve, please help, please get very tired, right? And have nice prasadam. So this will be our last festival for this year before Gita Jayanti. So with that, yeah, you'll be tired absolutely. This month, yeah. So next month we have Thanksgiving parade. Thank you for Devendra Govind Prabhu for filing the application with the city where please come, 100K people come to take darshan of Lord Jagannath and hear the holy name. Please come. So with that, anything else? We'll break for prasadam. We all will sing together. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Salpa Punyam Vratam Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate Sharira Vidya Jal Jodendriya Tahe Kal Jive Faile Vishaya Sagare Tara Madhya Jivadi Lokamay Sudormati Take Jeta Katina Samsare Krishna Bada Dayo Moy Kari Bara Jivo Jai Swaprasadan
Radha Krishna Guna Preme Rakro Sri Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nitai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Vasandi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Krishna Mahaprasadam ki jai. And tomorrow we have a very, very important announcement related to the temples. Please come. It's very, very important announcement. Should not miss to hear. Please come tomorrow, 10 o'clock for the services. Hare Krishna.
You should know what they miss. This is the only thing they miss remaining they can hear.
What are they missing? Oh, somebody is back.
They can have prasadam online.
Somebody is back.
Mataji, they can
They
have
can't have
prasadam
it.
online.
Hang on.